All right, let's start with another slide. Machine learning part 2. Mainly, we are going to talk about regressions. What is regression? I already explained what is that. So in our previous class, we said that what is classifications? Means it's going to work with a specific number of class. What is regressions? Regressions means you don't have a specific category. You have to work every time single digit in different numbers. Could be sometimes similar, sometimes different. You don't never know. Okay, means something like how much, how many, something like all time different, all time different. Sometimes coincidentally similar, but not is predictable or something like that. Okay, if you see here some use cases here, if you see first one, is this network packet malicious? What would be the answer? Yes or no, right? So what you can say? Classifications. What will be the financial cost of this data breach? What do you think? It's a specific class or any category, something like that? No, it's a specific number. You don't know. 1.5 million, 2.2 million, it depends, right? You have to guess. And what is the malware family of this virus? So you can say there are different type of malware, right? But specific, not a lot of them. It's like not like unlimited. There are some different type of, like could be worm, could be virus, could be ransomware, or could be Trojan horse or something like many more, right? So this is a specific that is called classifications. How many GB of bandwidth will we need tomorrow? It's a number, right? Different numbers could be different. That is called regressions. So you got that. If you have different type of classification, if you have to work on specific classes, that is classifications. If you work on numbers, specific, how many, how much, something like that, that is called regressions. Now we are going to learn how regressions, one example, how regressions work. Start again with the collect level data. So for this experiment, I collected a data set again from Kaggle. That is a credit card fraud detections. We see a lot of sometimes in our credit card fraud or like unauthorized transactions. So this kind of transactions we are going to work will determine there's a fraud or not. For that, we collect it again. You can click on the on the keywords and you get the data set from Kaggle. So how many transactions here? 284,807 total transactions. Okay. Start again from the beginning. What do you have to do? We have to input the data set, right? So here I directly downloaded this data set from the Kaggle. How? Kaggle Hubs. Kaggle Hub data set downloads. I put the link here of this and just I got the I print the path. Here is the path for that. Then next I import this data set in my code. Okay, as I'm working again with the CSV file, so I said pd read CSVF path means I have to give the directions where is my data set, then the file name is this is the file. So there are total 29 was column, 29 column was there, 29, but only one column is my predicted or output. Rest of them are my feature. For example, when we are going to rent a house or apartments, the price is my target based on all the feature, right? Space, number of rooms, other utilities, many facilities, depends on all the facilities, what is price is my target. So we have to create two variables. One is for target, another is for features. So y is my target, x gonna be the all the input, all the feature. Okay, here you see x. So from all the data sets, I am removing only the two things, time and class. I don't need the times for training the models, but class is my output. So that's why from whole data set, I'm removing that, except those all are data, all the other things I am importing, I am storing in X variables, right? So similarly, y df class, only the class variables I need. only class categories I need for predictions, because this is the mainly output. This is mainly level data. So here I'm trying to print the shape. What is the total shape of that? X dot shape, you see, it has this number of input and 29 columns. It means if you include Y also, it's gonna be 30 columns. And we had another column time, we removed it. So maybe means total 31 columns was there. 29 for features means for train the models, and 1 is predicted means output level, and 1 we removed that we don't need. So it means it was total 39, right? Sorry, 31. Okay, perfect. Next, split the data set. We are not here. One part missed. What is called data pre-processing. So, but because I don't need it for this data set, it's already pre-processed, very clean. That's why. But based on the data set, you can do it. Okay, split the data set. Now I'm just jump to the split the data set. As similarly, 80% for training, 20% for testing. X train, similarly, X is your input feature, Y is your output or level, and test size 0.2 means testing for, I'm keeping 0.2 for testing, and random stages 42. Now you see how many data for training, how many data for testing. If you print that, training size is 27,845 transactions for training, and rest are for testing. So, okay. Now train the models. For training the models are different. For classifications, the model that we use for regressions we use kind of different. Or you can use, but performance would not be good. For that, we are using logistic regressions. It's one of the regression models, but this model also work for classifications. Okay. So here I imported the models. Model equal logistic regression. Inside that I said I used 3 different parameters. What is that? First one is the class weight equal balanced, means in previous classifications example I said that data set is not balanced, and 13% are spam, 87% are ham. So here I'm saying class weight equal balance means that I'm telling, hey, if you see some rare or kind of like less than sample data, give high priority on that, very high priority. That's how it's make sure there's balance. Okay, mix iterate is 1,000 means we are getting the output, but it is kind of a mathematical intuition inside the models. Is make sure that it converts the output when you're predicting the output, is try to figure out the best output from the all output. So it is iterated through them all the time. Some model when it's predicted one output, again it's go through in the again predicting the model. So it's figured out 1,000 times. It's take the iteration to figure out the best result. Okay, random study, is a mandatory part kind of to make sure that all time we are getting the same result, not the different. Now we have the models. Now it's time to feed the models. I have X trained, trained data, X trained, and another Y trained. Means X and Y, I'm giving to the input 80% of that. So here you see I'm giving the output. Model training completed. Now let's go to see the output. Now see, how can you see the output? We have, as I said, that we have a classification report, we have confusion matrix. There's how we can see the output, okay? And we have accuracy also, okay? So here you see, how can you see the output? We are giving the test X. Means we have 20% for test. So from the feature data, X is the mainly input. So we are giving the X input here, and we are getting the output. But we have the actual output. We have to compare. We have to compare actual output and predicted output. Here you see, I'm comparing based on the confusion matrix. I'm comparing that Y test and Y predict. This is the confusion matrix. As I said that first diagonal, true negative and true positive. This is our means expected output, and this is false positive, false negative. This is our means we don't want this kind of output. So you see, most of the result we got for first diagonals, true negative and true positives. Okay, so means it's good. Now we are printing the classification report. So Y test, Y predict, and target. What is the target? Normal or fraud, something like that. So here you see, this is the total output. If you see, here's accuracy, 98% accuracy, and precision 1, recall 0.9. It means we got very good score. Okay. All right. So that is the mainly work for that. Okay. So there is more example. Cybersecurity risk assessment means it's a real life example, vehicle maintenance, relocations, and real estate, academic analyst, salary forecastings. Based on the university, you can forecast your salary, how much you're going to get in your future job, something like that. So that's the real example that you can do in the future in your real life. Okay. So all right. So that's end of the lecture. So we'll see you next class. As I said that we don't have any class activity or quizzes for this class. So see you in the next week. Okay. Bye.